What's up? Welcome back to the channel. Today we got all of our exhaust back from powder coat, so we're going to install our exhaust, put our carbs on, plumb up our fuel lines, and get this thing ready to fire up. We got the water box in already. You saw us put the engine in the last video. We went through alignment. If you didn't catch that one, check out the link in our description. It's how to install an engine and properly align it. So the engine's in, mount's in, our water box is in, that was powder coated. Our expansion's in, that was powder coated, it's all bolted down. I cleaned up my brass ring, so I'm gonna insert my brass ring into the exhaust, right? And then we'll follow it along. We'll put a nice bead of copper gasket sealer, RTV, just a real thin layer. And then we'll put our exhaust manifold on. I'm gonna put a little bit of 518 around here. And before you say anything, 518 is good up to 300 degrees. If your exhaust is getting to 300 degrees, something's wrong. So I'm gonna use 518 on this, a very, very thin amount just to seat the gasket. I'll install my header pipe, the rest of my exhaust, copper like I said, put my clamp on, and then we'll move on to installing the carbs. Just a little dab will do ya. You know what I mean? A very, very thin. Thin. And then we're gonna spread it. All right, so we got a thin layer, right? Notice it taped off. You see that? You see that precision tape line when it was painted?
Got lucky.
No, it's because the gasket goes up to there. That's it. Now, if you would have grinded all that off, that would have been exposed. It would have been rusting up on you. You know what I'm saying?
Pro tip.
Pro tip. We give a lot of those out. You know, like our video how to rebuild carbs.
Just a tip though.
Or maybe our video how to detail your jet ski. Or even the video how to rebuild your 787. It's all there. Just gotta look in the video quorum, dude. You know what I mean? Tell the people.
The quorum.
The vodka's kicking in, dude. It's getting all loose.
Has one sip and he's
Shorty,
done.
let me see you get loose. Get loose. Da-da-da-da-da. All right.
Are you good? You've been spreading that for about 2 minutes.
I like it. I'm happy with it. I mean, statistically, if we look at our channel views, we don't have a lot of people under like 21. There's a couple 14-year-olds that commented on it, but they know what's going on. You know what I mean? They're earlier than we were. 14, at 14, we were still playing with like freaking G.I. Joes. Yeah, all right, so now that our 518 spread it out and install the gasket, right? So the 518's there to hold it in place and help to seat it. It's not to seal it, so don't like get splooging out, you know what I mean? Then we're gonna go back and wipe this where you see it. So we're gonna install our bolts now. I've already wild reeled these, just like we've done in the other videos. And when I put the exhaust manifold on with that tacky gasket maker, I do like a crisscross to make sure my gasket's seated correctly. So I'll install one bolt up top, one bolt on the bottom, and then I'm gonna use my little stubby impact because it fits right in there, and then I'll tighten the rest of it by hand. Let's just simple it that way, you know what I mean?
Yes. Torque spec is key.
Yeah, it's the torque spec for this one is gluten tight.
Gluten tight. How many Ugga-Duggas?
Like 4, 6, 8.
Who do we approve? Seadoo.
But still going a cross pattern. Just because you're raising hell and praising Dale doesn't mean you do it wrong. Now I'm gonna put copper on here. Just a real like decently even layer. If you don't do this, it's gonna leak. All right, now the fun part. Now we gotta put the head pipe on and clamp it down without freaking sloshing all that around. It's a freaking dab will do you. You know?
Yabba-dabba-doo.
Again, this stuff's good up for 300 degrees. This exhaust should see like, at the highest point, 200. Should be like 170s or like 195-ish. It should not get that hot. Somebody's gonna comment on here like, bro, I can't believe you're using 518 on the exhaust. You even know what you're doing. Why are you watching my channel? Look at that nicely welded Welch plug, dude. Little repair jobber. It's nice. Usually what I do is I'll do this super loose. I'll take this nut all the way off. I'll put it on the bottom side so that it's like Just there.
And then meet them together.
Yeah.
There.
Alright, so that's on. Gasket's on. That all lined up. Pretty decent. It's lined up. I got the stud that's here, and I got Allen key that's here that holds the gasket aligned. All that's sealed up. Cool.
Torque her down. Knock, knock.
Yeah, it's a never-ending bolt.
And Nick's done
The
working
key to
out.
success. Stubby.
The stubby.
Dude, that pipe looks good.
Yeah, I like the white with the purple.
It is kind of purple, ain't it?
Well, I guess it depends what light you're looking at it. Little chubby coming in clutch again. Another pro tip.
All right, but don't tighten it all down too much because you gotta tighten this dirt. You gotta tighten this dirty mow up. Or you gotta tighten this down first. See what I'm saying? Because it's gonna push into the exhaust. So if you tighten those Allen keys down first, then it's not gonna go where it needs to go. And then the bushing, which is a mobilizer for vibration and movement, doesn't do anything. Now you can tighten it down. Oh yeah. Just don't hit your nice powder coated exhaust. Stuff was like 250 bucks. Our exhaust is all on. We're gonna start plumbing up all of our fuel lines so we can put our carbs on. And you gotta put this assembly together first. So I'm gonna use the compression clamps again because I don't want any leaks. So I'll just position it how I want it. Okay. Then this one has to get connected down here. But these ones are finicky because if you don't make this clamp upright, it hits like the side of the engine. Okay. Alright, so that should be good. Hopefully we gave it enough length. When I put my base gaskets on, I put 5/18 on the housing, on the rotary plate housing, prior to when I'm assembling the carb, the rest of the carbs and going over everything. So that the 5/18 kind of like tacks up and holds the gaskets in place so I don't have to worry about them sliding out, because sometimes they'll slide out this way and you don't know it. And it'll cause a very, very lean condition. So I put 5/18 around here. I'll clean up around here, which doesn't really matter because when your gas starts flowing through there, it'll eat it up. So now that the gaskets are pretty tacked on, I'm going to install the carbs.
Going good and tight.
Yeah, just snug for right now.
Alright.
Now that our carbs are installed, we're just going to install all of our throttle lines and everything. And our oil injection line. And then the very bottom fuel line is going to be a clamp, just so that it's still serviceable. Okay, the main key is to make sure that when you're off throttle, that your carburetors aren't opening on you.
Give her a good rip, eh?
Let her rip.
Because these were made in Canada.
Canadian. This is made in Canada. So you just gotta let her rip, tater chip.
Let her rip, bud.
Let her. Hey there, guy. Hey, hoser.
Bunch of spare parts there, bud.
You got any spare parts there, hoser? I gotta get my machine running there, guy. Zoom in on this, dude. So I use these clamps. They're compression clamps, right? But they're not the compression clamps where they're clamped down. And I only do this because if you gotta take these carburetors off to service them, then you're not in here fiddling around with the compression clamps because they're a mother to get off. So we got all of our return lines on. We have all of our oil pump lines hooked up for the carb. It's not hooked up to the engine yet. And we have our throttle cable hooked up. We'll come back and we'll hook up our choke cable, which doesn't really need to go on until we put our air box on. So we'll put our choke cable on really quickly, put our fuel feed line, and hook up our oil pump line so that the timing mark's marked up so when it's full throttle it's where it needs to be. Hook up our pulser, and that's it, man. First start and water test.
We let her have it.
That's it. Okay, because air leaks is
No bueno.
a lean condition. So now this is good to go. We have our choke cable, everything hooked up. We're gonna start installing our airbox manifold. Do not drop a bolt down the damn carburetors. Square one.
Slow and steady wins the race.
If you don't feel comfortable, pull the choke cable. Alright, so if you followed our other videos, the carb rebuild video in particular, and you bought the ultrasonic cleaner, I always ultrasonic clean this flame arrestor to get it super nice so it's not gunked up from 25 years of use. So definitely do that. Let's move our air box up. Move our return line out of the way. And then you gotta have this plate so you're not crimping plastic. And now this stuff's super tight to get to. So if you don't have a stubby now,
Order one.
I don't know what you're doing with your life. This is gonna suck.
Just know about that.
That's awesome. Now that all that's in, we can throw our airbox in. So you gotta make sure all these are not caught on anything.
Let's just snap in.
Yeah, it just snaps in, then it kind of locks itself. Hell yeah.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Alright, so that'll wrap up today's episode. We got the exhaust in, we got the carbs in, we got the air box in, we got everything ready to go for a first start. So on the next video, we're gonna do graphics. I'll show you guys how the best way to do those because I've done a couple sets of these. We're gonna do HydroTurf, and then we're gonna do a first start. And then the next video will be test drive. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.
Oh yeah. G.I. Joe.
Hey Mom, I've been watching this channel on YouTube. What's a snatch box?
Like a tuna box.
God damn it. Show me this channel, Jimmy. You're not watching it anymore. I'm telling their parents.